Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. And this is my first ever playthrough of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I actually know about this game because this was a game that was talked about a lot years and years ago. A lot. I remember it was like one of those games that like a lot of Let's Players were playing. But at the time, I think I was like, had my mind only set on like indie horror and stuff like this is what I wanted to watch. So I never really watched anyone play this. I do know there's a narrator and stuff like this as well, but that's like as much as I really know about this game beyond that. But I am kind of like excited to check this out because it is one of those things that like people have recommended for a while. Let's press begin the game. The end is never the end, and we're loading. Oh, that's a cool loading screen. It's like skip.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
There's the narrator.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Oh, so he has like a number on him?
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427.
Love the voice.
And he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Oh, the music's so fun.
Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
So everything's kind of predetermined for him, I guess?
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Love the voice.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
So he's happy with his like kind of like, everyday life that everything's kind of decided for him.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Oh my god.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor.
So it's like
for him
a spanner in the works here.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happen.
Everyone's gone?
Complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Yeah.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
That's actually crazy, though. Okay. You know why that's crazy? Because a character like having their whole life kind of determined for them, and then all of a sudden they have this uncomfortable like feeling of like, wait, do I have to actually do something? That's like a weird feeling. Oh, it's very smooth though. It's very smooth. So we're gonna head out of our office. Nobody there. The music's very charming. It feels like a early 2000s movie. You know what I mean? Or like a Dr. Seuss movie even. You know what I mean? It feels like that. Can we press anything? Guess not that anyway.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Sure, we can go to the meeting room.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
Oh my
find
god.
a trace of his co-workers.
He's like narrating like even me doing a bit of exploration as well. Yeah, everyone's pretty old. I love the way they put some scratches on the table. That's pretty normal for like any business, right? It's a very interesting feeling, right? To be like, told to do everything every day, and then all of a sudden it's just not there anymore. And it got so weird for me. He like sat in silence for a bit. But now we have a narrator kind of like narrating our life as well, so it seems like papers are dropped on the floor, so it's like almost people were like left here, like a rapture style thing. That's a weird looking part of the building. I hate Mondays. See what I mean? Like the coffee is dropped. It's like someone was talking here and then like the coffee is dropped on the ground or something. Oh, wow. They're doing maintenance to that as well. So we can close the doors as well. Can we open the doors then? I've been trying to open a few doors, but it doesn't seem like it's working.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, so I have heard, by the way, that this is reminiscent of like this, of like Slay the Princess. It's kind of like that, because people are like, if you love Slay the Princess, you love Stanley Parable. So I kind of expect there to be like choices and obviously that stuff too. There's going to be multiple like playthroughs. That's like something like you're not going to go to Stanley Parable and not know that there's like going to be like a feeling of that as well. So I'm guessing it's going to be one of those things that like we can like go against what like the narrator's saying. But I think we'll go with what the narrator's saying for now, I guess. Right? And I think at other playthroughs we can go like and do the opposite, I guess. At least that's what it seems to be. Like, if we go right, we're going against what he said. It might be that. Yeah, if it's Slay the Princess style. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. If it is like Slay the Princess in that way, it could just be like the narrator, but I think it definitely is going to be like choices and different things like that, right? For sure.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not getting fired?
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Look at this. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out of passive aggressive and go to coworkers. Or send your coworkers are not supporting you more. This is so true with like terrible workplaces. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic on the header and it throws some bevel on all the text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Oh my god. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Okay, I'm the most unique. Synergize, core value, expenditure, shift global market, monetize, free to play. Number of slides, charts and chart slides. Oh my god. What's hot? Target demographic is teenagers. Requires more secondary research. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Things, money, more money, things but with money. Rate of increased graphs per slide. Oh my god, they're just doing a PowerPoint on PowerPoints. Graphs about things and money. No more charts, please, I'm begging. Oh my god. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love about your boss. Fill out the triplicate and return it to your boss's appreciation specialist. Solving interpersonal conflict. Do you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined towards conflict? On your kind of person who initiates conflict. Why did we hire you? Remember that it takes... Okay. What are your dreams for the future? Nature, talk radio, mitosis, spring break, metamorphosis, comatose. I don't want to feel. Keep me comatose. Tips for not getting fired. Now we're back to the start. Okay. By quality post review. Is it a bit dark on your end? You guys, if you guys want me up the brightness, let me know. We need reviews for 2 + 4 or 5. Want to get rid of the death support portion in the primary review schedule, but I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to the teenage demographic. Find teenagers, put in teenage demographic. Big nets, some big sort of child trap. A lot of percentages, space in between. There's throw something in the ideas bin. That's a bin. Recycling bin. No more bins. Trash cans. Renaming the idea. Okay. There's a very like claustrophobic feeling to like some of these stuff here. Like it makes me like my skin be on edge hearing like this type of like talk. Targets. Push for funding of R&D. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Standardize graphs. So everyone's going to have the same graphs. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers to synergize. Oh my god. Fire the paper guy. Look at all this stuff. Like everything's leading to just like more problems. Who moved my desk? Please keep on targets and topic. The future was yesterday. Tomorrow is now. Tomorrow is complete. Today's unfinished agenda items. Right the next stage. You know what this is showing me actually? You know what this is showing me? This feels like it's not only a mundane lifestyle, but it's a lifestyle that feels like absolutely painful, right? Like all these, like everything you accomplish leads to more problems. Nothing's ever fully done. There's never truly like a real break, an emotional break. Everything's like always like, you have to be weary of everything in the office constantly. Do not alter without consulting the whiteboard manager. The whiteboard manager even? Weekly targets, IT department. We're broke Wednesday. What? Termination Tuesdays. Are going to fire people? Marketing Mondays. Office efficiency, legal, group 1. The boat is too small. Like, look, it's all this stuff that like they probably make sense to them. Weekly review, pranking floor meetings. Let's not do that. What to do about 432? Are we 432? We're 432, right? Office party. And also they said over here the demographic is teenagers. Which, yeah, that can be people's demographics, but like on YouTube, the best demographic you want is like legitimately like not even joking, is like 34-year-olds watching your videos. Which, by the way, I'm not... If you're someone who's under 34, you're like, wait, I watch Calvin's videos. I'm glad to have you, man. I'm glad to have you. But they say, like 34-year-olds, like, buy the most stuff. I'm posted, so they're like, oh, yeah, and advertisers love that. They absolutely love that, you know what I mean? But don't worry. Don't feel bad that you don't buy stuff. You're still welcome here on the Romer channel. You don't got to buy anything, you know? Only buy the crazy voices I do sometimes. Yep. We took a bit of time there to read everything. But it does feel like a corporate... it's a broom closet?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
There's like some tools?
He turned around and got back on track.
That's so funny. He's like directing us back on track. Okay, we'll follow what he's saying at least, right? And then if we can do different things next time, we definitely should try that, right? For sure.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You know what's so funny? In any game we have an arrow pointing where to go, it doesn't feel claustrophobic, but there's a claustrophobic feeling to someone like kind of like telling you exactly where to go at all times, you know? It feels like anti-exploration in a way. Is it here? Not here? Up here? They've gotten the coldness of an office building so well done here too. Wait, what the hell? He spoke too soon. This is like fancy as heck. Is this the office? No, this is like...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication
This is
of
a gigantic
any human
room.
life.
Who needs this for their
Shocked,
office?
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this.
Who orchestrated
What dark secret was being held
What?
from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded
What?
the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN
Yeah?
number. 2845.
And we just know this code?
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly
you just
have
told
known
us.
this.
That's a really cool way of doing it. Look at this environment, by the way. What, 283, was it 2845? Was that what it said?
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the
Stop.
keypad, Stanley happened to
Huh?
input the correct code.
Why is it getting so
by sheer
dark?
luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This is crazy because now, like, it seems like the narrator's trying to direct us towards something as well, right? For sure. For sure. It's like such an imposing room, right? It really is. But now look at the lighting here as well. It's really pretty. Oh my god, what the hell? What the hell is this? It's like a generator? What are we witnessing? What is this actually? Wait, is this actually a scary game? It's very dark. I might up the brightness for you guys in just 1 second. I couldn't find the it might just be in the menu. You can do the brightness. I'm sorry. I feel like it's maybe you can see it. What is this? Do they want me to go down here? Can't be that, right? Is there a platform to jump on? Oh, there is. Okay, okay. I thought it was like an emptiness. I thought it was darkness. Where are we going? The narrator clearly wants us to see something, right? For sure. I like this loading screen a lot. It's really cool. It's just so simplistic, but it's really cool at the same time, too.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Oh, really?
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest.
For me, it's
As though he
nervousness.
felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Okay.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Do you think it's because of, like, you know, he was so happy? He was content, right? He was satisfied. And we learn from other games all the time. My freaking heart, what the hell are you doing, game? Satisfaction can sometimes lead to, like, feelings of, you know, well, satisfaction. You don't want to leave those areas anymore, right? What's that? You get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you don't want to even, like...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
What?
Mind Control Facility.
But there's also an escape route as well. Okay, I think we'll like... So there definitely is like a thing where like they want us to see if we can escape as well. We're gonna... There's so many different opportunities, by the way, to change to what you're doing here in this game. I can already see this. So many different opportunities. This is so cool. So let's go to the mind control facility for now and see what happens. I think following what the narrator says, at least now, is not a bad idea. But yeah, it's like what a like a weird escape from this mundane lifestyle, right? There's like a light bulb going here as well. The locations are cool too, by the way.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley
The voice
thought
is
to
so good,
himself.
by the way.
Did he have the strength to find
No,
out?
I don't. How crazy is it that we went from an office room where we just type away on our computer to a freaking like Matrix style room with all these TVs? This game is going to be hiding some stuff for sure. 110%. Is there something else we have to press here? So people were clearly here before as well. Oh, here we go. The cameras? We're turning on the cameras?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Oh my god.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
What?
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Yeah, that's so true.
One of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
It does feel like that though, right? The idea of like reducing people to not only numbers, but then like, hey, you're being surveilled like this, and when you're all beside each other like this as well, you feel like a speck of dirt, you know? Holy hell, look at this image, and in the numbers as well there as well. There's one broken number up there, by the way, which is at 234. There's some weird images here as well. And what's this? An elevator?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Seems like it is.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Oh
that his
my
emotions
God.
had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
So like again, we thought we were content, we thought we were happy, but like right now we're looking at this now and like it changes your whole perspective. Like how could you be content again? How could you ever be happy again? Freaking crazy stuff, man.
No. He refused to believe
Oh,
it.
do I refuse to
Couldn't
believe it?
accept it? His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Oh my God.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
This narrator is
Had
giving
he
me the creeps
truly
though.
spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
He's scaring me. And I think it's just because he's like telling us how to feel. He's telling us, and again,
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Oh my God.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human
What do you mean?
life. For he would dismantle the controls once and
Yeah, we
for
will.
all.
Because we can clearly make different choices, that's why it feels like the narrator is kind of like, telling us to do something rather than narrating what we're doing it. Does that make sense? It kind of feels like we went along with what the narrator said versus the narrator saying exactly what we're doing. So I wonder if the narrator is going to become something like in Slay the Princess, where it feels kind of like they know too much, right? And they kind of like are very like aware of everything going on around us. And we like are kind of like, I wouldn't say fighting against it, but we're at the will of them as well in some cases too. But we'll see how it goes. Again, I'm only coming off playing Slay the Princess in that way too. Is it the same creators? So I guess we have to go into the power facility. They lit this up for a reason. Isn't it crazy they're using like video game techniques to always like also like guide us here too? But now it's like kind of fourth wall breaking in a way. Mind control idle awaiting input. Wait, is there a choice here? So we can like
And
choose.
when at last he found the source
There's so many
of the wind's
choices.
power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So we're turning it off? Just like that? Is that it? That's not it.
Blackness
Okay.
and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Yeah?
Was it over?
This is almost more terrifying than like being mind controlled. Like it just feels like we're in the darkness now.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone
doesn't this
else's
feel good, though?
command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still
That's
lay unsolved.
crazy.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this
Oh
strange
my
building
God.
hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber,
Incredible.
he realized none of this mattered to him.
It matters to
For
me.
it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
There is a breath of fresh air seeing these
No
trees,
longer would
but
anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he
why is my
needed
heart
to
still
know.
like we're looking at this
It
beautiful
was
nature? Yeah, there's a
perhaps
breath of fresh
the
air,
only
but
thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
That doesn't change the fact how nervous I feel as well, because, like, again, I love what they said, like, this is just like, hey, there's so many things left unanswered, so they're basically telling you to go back. Like, we kind of saw, like, there's so many different things you can do here. They're telling you to go back and do other things for sure. And I can't wait to try and do stuff like that. That's really, really fun.
Stanley felt the cool
Really, really
breeze
cool
upon his
stuff.
skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new
See, I don't feel
path
this.
before
I don't feel
him.
this at all.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Oh, yeah?
And Stanley was happy.
Content? You know why this doesn't feel good? Because, yes, we're going out into this beautiful nature when we've come out of the office and stuff because, well, we ended this mind control thing or whatever, right? Cool, right? That's great stuff. Oh my god, we did it. But at the same time, too, there's so many like, oh, we're back here? Okay. We're 427, by the way. There's so many like unanswered questions that it made me feel, again, this feeling of claustrophobia rather than feeling free. I'm leaving this place, but I'm feeling like I don't know what's happening. I don't know what this voice is. I don't know what this facility is. I don't know what all these things are. All I know is I shut it off, which is very different from, you know, having any knowledge of anything going on. Like, have you ever like tried to do like a maths puzzle in school? And, or even like, not even school, yeah, like the best example would be like in adult life would be kind of like, you know, when you try to remember the name of a celebrity and you don't have a phone on you or something like that, you don't have internet right now, and it makes you feel like you're, like, it's a feeling of like, oh, I feel so clouded, like it's frustrating, right? But imagine that times 100 with this type of thing, right? This character, because what I would be feeling right now is like, what was that? How can you go on with your life without thinking like, what happened there? Something happened there. Something was happening there, and I have no idea, and forever I'm just not going to know. So it is like one of those things where there's this feeling of claustrophobia there.
All of his co-workers.
Wait, so we're just
were
starting
gone.
again, okay.
What could it mean?
So
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
should we go right this time? I think we should go right this time, right? For sure. This is very cool. It's a very cool idea. The music is so good too. As I said, it kind of reminds me of like a very like early 2000s like adventure, not adventure, but like cartoon movie or kids movie. It's very adventurous and magical in a way. So I guess we go right. There was other choices too, though. For sure. I like how it just restarts all over and over again, though.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, let's go. Let's go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley
They closed the
knew
door behind us,
perfectly
though.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay, we're admiring the employee lounge. There's a computer on there. Let me in. But I guess it makes sense. There's a lot of like stuff here. You know what's so funny? As a kid, I thought this is what I really wanted in life, because I used to watch like, you know, cartoons like of like people like, you know, I used to watch Hank Hill sitting at his desk. I used to watch like a bunch of cartoons with like other characters sitting at their desk, not realizing that like, look, in a lot of ways, like, and again, some people are happy with their office job, some people are very fulfilled, some people do a lot of great work in their office job, of course. Like, you know, I'm watching a show right now called My Dearest Nemesis, where there's a character who's really good at her job and she loves sitting down at the desk, but obviously she does other things too, but she loves our organizing stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think as well, like, you know, they also like something I didn't realize when I would look back at those shows. Not King of the Hill because he loves his job too, but there's so many shows that show like how like this can be soul crushing as well, right? And again, more power to you if you like this type of job. More power. Again, like I said, that person in My Dearest Nemesis loves this job and she's incredible and I love her. I just like, you know, I don't think it would appeal to me now, but maybe it might. You never know. But I guess like it's one of those things that like, you know, as a kid I thought this was like the be all and end all. Personally. Can't open all these doors. Oh, this is all right.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring.
It's kind of like
It had really been worth the detour
empty,
after all,
right?
just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Actually, you know what? I actually don't. I know, like they say, like for employee lounges, you want to have more of like a. I don't think they look for.
Yes, really, really worth it.
Oh my
being
God,
here
he's
in
getting a
the
little
room.
annoyed, is he?
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Okay.
Really worth
Is he gonna
it.
get more annoyed at us? But I was gonna say, I think they sometimes do neutral colors for the sake of it, right? Should we check if he gets more upset with us?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Let's see if he says something else. Probably not, but we'll see.
Stanley sat around waiting for
Oh.
more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
That's good. That's really good. Wait, should we wait one more time? Just to see? You never know. It's not a bad room, right? Like, I could sit here with the nature outside or something like that and have a cup of tea. Okay, I think they're trying to send us a message to go on now.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing,
The amazing room. The voice is so
Took
good.
the first open door on his left to get back to business.
And that leads us back into the other hallway? No, let's go this way. A4.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
This game actually looks really good as well because like I'm playing this on like a Steam Deck, by the way. Like that's what I use for most of my PC games, and like it's actually great because like I don't need this to play like big AAA games, but games like, you know, that are still really pretty and still have a great style, like this, run incredibly well. You know what I mean? Really, really well. And it's like, and it's honestly like a game console in itself. So like it's like I get to play all the PC games and have all the different settings, while also having like ease of use for someone like me who never was like a PC gamer, if that makes sense. Look at this room here. Like, what the hell? Like, what type of room is this? I guess it's like a construction room. Do not climb, jump, or from... Oh, it's a cargo. Okay. 1,000 fine for penalty of misuse. Penalty for jumping off the cargo with 5,000. I think the penalty is probably going to be death. That's horrible. But again, it's one of those things. It's like, if you inconvenience us, you're the bad one, you know?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on
What?
the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
Oh, why are you saying that, though?
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
No.
But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten
What do you mean?
about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by
Are you saying we're
yourself.
neglecting him?
I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for
Who's her? Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
Yeah?
To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
What is he? Is like a loved one?
She's been waiting.
Is this in our choice, or is this just like one of those things we have to go through this door? He said her, so is there someone in her life that left her life? What is that room? It's a very blank room. Boop. It's a really, you know what helps with this game too? It's really smooth to play. Is this where he wants me to go? It's like a blank room. Huh?
That's her, Stanley.
Who?
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
And this light
if you
as
can
well?
truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What do you talk? This game. Is it a choice not to answer it as well? Wait. This is a different room.
Is that you?
What?
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Sweetie!
I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Oh, it's like apartment buildings?
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh,
Gotcha.
that was so scary.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Stop.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
What are you trying to get us to
Come
see?
inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
That was actually freaking so scary. The voice changing?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? What are you talking about? Press B on my controller. What are you talking about? B? B on the controller? I guess we'll press B.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential
He is angry
nature
with
of
us right
his
now. He's so
existence.
angry. Like he's literally just telling us what to do on our control. Now it's us on the controller pressing buttons.
Look at him
Clearly.
there, pushing buttons, doing exactly
Stop.
what he's
Okay, let's
told
go.
to do.
Let's leave. We can't even leave. There's like an
Now he's
invisible
pushing a
wall.
button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work.
Was that always there?
One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Was that always there?
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures.
Yeah?
From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
Is that what's happening?
Fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful.
This mannequin's
And
making me
each
so
day that he
nervous.
returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen.
He's talking about our hopes and dreams right now, by the way. He really dislikes us about what we did here, going against him.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
The office is coming home!
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
So we were happy that everyone was gone. But to spend time with the boys, do we have any friends? Is he going to say we have no friends? Like, he said we don't have a wife. Like, he set up this thing, which is absolutely terrifying. He's saying that we imagine things in our mind that, like, make us feel like we're not in, like, some mundane job, but, like, we actually never get to do that because we go back to work all the time. We're kind of stuck in one place. And then we're excited when we saw nobody was there in work.
He went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either.
And we went to the right.
At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
It's like the idea of, like, our choice is, like, this whole time we've been, like, told what to do about everything. And our character somehow, like, all of a sudden, like, gets a choice. Even if it's something small, like, go through the opposite door. At least that was our choice.
As he wandered through this fantasy world,
Oh, it's painting
he began
over the
to
room
fill
as
it
well.
with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
What? Tell your kids a story? Is this like the true? But here's the thing, like, I feel like I just did, like, exactly, like, you know, what you would expect. So I don't think it's gonna be like a tell-all ending, right? Because I feel like this is like the easiest one to get besides the first one.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again and then again.
And again, this idea of fantasy of
over
escaping
and
from
over,
reality,
wishing
right?
beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Oh, is that gonna be that's a premonition of what we're gonna be doing as well. Tell your wife you love her. He feels like he's punishing us right now by showing us how, like, a mundane our life is, how, like, pointless he feels our life is, right, as well. And maybe like an idea of, like, a look at what we're gonna be doing in this game, which is like, hey, just maybe one more try.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
The office is blocking us from going out.
All he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets.
Stop.
The more he forgets which life is the real one.
To go to sleep as well. So he's saying, like, all we're doing is pushing buttons. This fantasy we have,
I'm
trying to get
trying
out of this
tell him
mundane life.
that in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
Jesus,
How
man,
can
what
I
do we
get him
put
to
it?
see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press A to question nothing? So we're just going back to our mundane life?
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different.
So
I
you're following
suppose.
something as well, like a
I'll
script?
try once more to convey all this to him.
This makes me so
I'm
nervous.
Compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
What?
And I tried again.
What?
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again.
Please
And Stanley
die!
pushed a button. And I tried.
What? Did he kill us? Did we die? What are you doing? What are we loading now? Oh my god, that was so dark. Because not only was it playing on the fact of that we were like, we were technically disobeying this voice, but in the process, he kind of made us feel like we were still just a rat, like in a cage, a hamster on the wheel. We felt like we were still doing that stuff. He talked about how we had no wife, no life, no child outside of this thing. We can only dream of getting out of here, right? To the point that this life that we're in now is just basically killing us. These fantasies that we have are never going to come to fruition. We're going to basically kill ourselves trying to go down every single path to see maybe the next path will be the right one. Maybe the next path will be the right one. But he's basically like mocking us, calling us a puppet once again. That we can't do anything for ourselves. Man, that made me feel so like nerd. Like the word is claustrophobic. You feel kind of trapped. It feels like someone's boxing you in as you're doing this. I think that's the intended purpose. You're not supposed to feel good playing this game. That ending to me seems like in the end, we couldn't handle this like whole thing of like not be like all these orders again. He gave us so much orders that like one of the orders was please die. And since our character technically is following orders a lot of the time, we just died and we came back to the start again. But it was trying to showcase like we went home, we had this apartment, and even at home, our office follows us home. Like it's painting over this place that we thought was our home, this fantasy we had of our like wife and all this stuff, and like this idea of having loved ones and friends and all this stuff is not really there. What is there is like we go to work, we come home, we bring our work home with us, that type of thing. But in this case, he says that we're pushing buttons all the time, so we might just honestly just be here all the time just pushing buttons while we're fantasizing about the idea of having friends, of having a life. That's such a dark way of doing this game. Are we going to have to make a different choice again?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So, should we go? We can't go. Like we'll go left this time again and make a different choice from there, because I imagine there's like a multiple different choices you can make. Because we saw that, like going down. We'll go downstairs. That's what we'll do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah. So we'll go downstairs this time, right?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What's that red light? What is that red light? Oh my god, what are we witnessing here? I guess it's like an alarm light of some kind? Was that a parking lot? Oh, that's kind of spooky.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Oh, so he's saying we're scared?
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Oh.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers...
I'm feeling crazy. I feel sick.
...out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange.
This is so weird.
Real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
Guys, I can't, I don't even know how to explain this. It feels like someone's talking at me. And you know when someone talks so much, like they're lecturing you or something like that, and you can't get a word in edgewise? Like I genuinely feel like my heart is pounding as he's talking to me. Like it feels so weird. I'm like my skin is crawling almost, like with this stuff too. And now he's like trying to like impose this idea that are we crazy? Are we dreaming? Just because again we went against the script again.
This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief.
Like look at this. I feel this makes me feel so weird.
An answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Stop it.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go
back
to
my
boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying.
What?
And began to gently float above the
Oh
ground.
my god!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield.
Wait.
And it too appeared.
No way.
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
They are changing
How
this
was he
game like
remaining so
crazy.
lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked
Oh, here's the
himself
repeated
sooner.
rooms.
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and
Exit.
thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
This narration
I'm
is
dreaming
killing
about
me.
a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Yeah, that's
And while
mind-bending.
he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be?
Are they still repeating? They're
Was
still
Stanley
repeating.
simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
I need this game to stop. Like I have never played a game that has made me feel so in a lack of control ever, to the point that it feels like I'm stuck in quicksand. This game is insane.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
I feel sick.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that
Please
this was
stop
in
talking.
fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float
Oh.
and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
How are we
that
doing this
was
now?
a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press
It
of
feels
the
so
mattress on his
disingenuous
back,
though, right?
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
The voice has
Let
gone
me
quiet
go back
as well.
to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life.
Stop. He
exactly
wants
the
everything to
way
go
it's
back
always
exactly the way it
been.
was.
My life is normal. I am normal.
Oh,
Everything will be fine.
this game is insane. This game is insane.
I am okay.
I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with the mundane. Okay. Oh no, we didn't wake up. We're still in the same area, right?
Stanley began screaming.
Stop.
Please, someone wake me up.
Oh.
My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just
Oh
someone
my
tell
God,
me
the
I am real.
horrors of
I must
this.
be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
This is so dark.
And everything went black.
That's so dark.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What? What are you talking about?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
What are
But
we
on
looking
this
at?
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself.
Did we die?
And then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man.
Considered?
He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy
Oh no.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
Like comparing your life to
I am
ours?
sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of
So
her
she's starting to
life.
think about her life as
She
well?
had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What? I love that she's like comparing our lifeless body on the ground, this crazy man, to how she knows that she's at least not crazy. You know what I mean? Oh my God, we're back here again. That last one was one of the most restraining and constrictive feelings I've ever had playing a game, to the point I was feeling sick. I had a feeling in the pit of my stomach of pain. That's what that felt as I was doing that. And then Mirabelle looking at us from the top as well. This idea of, once again, she's in like this kind of like corporate like cycle as well. But again, she doesn't have time to think about it. You know what I mean? For a second, she kind of thinks, oh, these people are going to affect my life today. These people who like are going to decide everything for my future. And it's like, yeah, but like, I don't have time to think about it. At least I'm sane. At least I know what's real and what's wrong. But what was so dark about that was Stanley like twice now went against what the script was, of what the narrator said what we kind of had to do. The first time we went left, and we ended up, right. And we ended up in this horror story, this horror story about how we've always just been fantasizing about getting out of like this mundane life. But in reality, we don't have the at least the courage and the energy to do so. We bring work home with us clearly all the time. Or I think it's just what they're saying, that we're constantly just at the keyboard, just typing up things, and we fantasize about getting out of here, but we can't really do it. Every time we fantasize about this like lovely life of like, oh, we did our job and we come home, make your dinner, the office comes back home again. Every time we're like, oh, let's meet up with the boys, the office takes over the home again. Say hi to your wife, the office takes over the home again. Like all this stuff happening over and over again. It's almost like the office is like creeping back into our fantasy. This fantasy we have of like this life we would have with like a beautiful woman or like a partner, and like again the office is slowly creeping in around us, that mundane lifestyle, that feeling of claustrophobia. It never leaves us. We can't escape that office job, you know what I mean, as well. Whereas like then also before that, the narrator like was being very cruel, and he's cruel the second time too, but he was very cruel in that route where he kind of like made us like call like an imaginary woman, giving us this kind of like feeling. He knew we fantasized about the idea of like a partner and this person that we could be with, to the point that he even like had the woman's voice over like an intercom, or not an intercom, but behind the door, only for it to be a mannequin, to kind of like add some salt to the wound a little bit too, because it really felt like he was like upset that we went against what he said. It really felt that he was like, he wanted to send a message to us, to the point that once we got back to the office, we ended up dying. Kind of to me sending the message of like, unless you like break out of this thing, what the narrator wants to tell you is, unless you break out of this thing, you're not going to really have a good life. There has to be another way to like go against the narrator and also find a happy life for yourself. I'm sure there is. But I wonder what way you can get to that. I think what's happening here is that, from my estimation, is that we are someone who is like in this kind of like weird space. We're typing all this stuff. All our colleagues and our bosses are gone. And now there's this narrator who clearly wants us to destroy this like whatever mind control machine and have us head out. But because now I believe the narrator also wants us to do things as well, I think that freedom we got at the start of the game isn't true freedom. Because I think that even as we were escaping and we like destroyed the mind control machine, he was still narrating what we were doing. He stepped out into the sun. He did all this. He did that. So I wonder for the rest of our life, we're going to have that voice in our head, that narration kind of like narrating what we're doing. The second one, as I said, I described it there. What I feel it is like trying to showcase that like, whatever fantasies we have, this mundane office job is still going to creep in on us. This lifestyle, we can't escape this. No matter what we think about, it's going to creep in on us. And the third one was also like a very cruel one as well. Whereas we kind of went downstairs instead of going up to our office, and he then basically berated us, called us scared, said we were too afraid to lose our job, said we were going insane, said we could be dreaming, to the point that like the whole place was going red, everything was going mad and crazy. We were flying through the stars, our fantasies were getting the better of us, and he was almost like taunting us in a way with the narration. It feels like that. That's why I don't trust this narrator already. But what we saw then was we were lying on the ground as this woman looked over us. And I'm wondering if that's because, if this is like some sort of fantasy we're going through, and we're going through all the fantasies of getting away from like mundane life and all this stuff, and that's what we're trying to do. Maybe like there's a part of that at least. Maybe as we were running around the parking lot, there was also like, these people going to work looking at us kind of like, what the hell is he doing? So I wonder if we just can't like understand what reality is anymore. And that's what our life has gotten to with this character. That's what I get from this. And again, I'm just we're theorizing stuff right now, but it's a very interesting game with like a lot of like really dark aspects. I think like the narration, like at first is like very charming and very cute and like it's very fun, but very quickly, even the first read becomes very claustrophobic and it feels very weird. It feels almost like, you can't like even think for yourself for a second. In reality, there was times too, like as a commentator, I'll be honest, like as someone who just Let's Plays, you feel the need to talk sometimes, so I pause the game sometimes, but it really felt like I was like, it was almost like someone like, was right in your face, like talking to you, and like, you can't say anything back. That type of way, it felt like that. I think that's what they're going for. It felt like I couldn't even get a word in. He was deciding everything for me. There was a feeling of claustrophobia, feeling like I was in quicksand, feeling like I was boxed in, feeling very frustrated. And then like having our character kind of like, go through this like horrors of like, screaming and trying to wake up and all this stuff it's a really scary thing. And I think that's the essence of what we're getting at here. There's like some very scary aspects to this. The two other routes we did from the first route, even the first route is kind of scary now in a very like meta way too, because now we know there's like we're at least being watched, and also at the same time too, our narrator like for some reason wants us to escape and wants to like kind of like get us out of here, but at the same time too there's like an underlying feeling where like again they want to like still narrate our life, or we can't escape that narration. But there is a feeling to me with the narrator every time we go against the message. There's a frustration, there's an anger, there's a almost like a very bitter look towards our character of like, oh, this person, you're doing this now, oh my god, he's doing this now kind of way. And I think it's a very interesting thing that we're gonna have to see going forward, because it is like a very interesting game. It's a very interesting game. If you'd like to see more of this, please let me know as well, because I definitely wouldn't mind playing as well. But so far, that's what I'm getting from it. It's very it's very horror centric in a way, but it's horror in a kind of like a mind bending way, to the point that it makes you feel like your whole body, your skin crawls and all this stuff as well. It's very hard to look at. It's very hard to like ascertain, it's very hard to know what's real and what's not real. It's very hard to understand like, what's happening any moment, but you understand a feeling. Like there's a physical feeling that I get from this, which is like repulsion, claustrophobia, all this stuff. I want to make clear, like I'm not I'm not feeling actual claustrophobia, like, oh, but I mean more like restrained. It feels like I'm like frustratedly trapped. But the reason why I'm not like, I'm going like, oh, this game is, bad, because that's what I think it's intending to, right? It's intending to make me feel like in this chair that I am like worthless in that moment. It wants the player to feel like you are not worth anything in this moment. It's the narrator who's trying to tell you what to do. And that's what I get from this. I get that when I'm playing this. But yeah, we ended on a very horrific note. The second route was very, very terrifying, as we saw the office creeping in on us. The third route was also like pretty terrifying as well. Having like, us like almost like living out our fantasies in a little way, and then like, giving us hope of waking up for a dream. And we end up in like a complete nightmare with this character looking over us as well. What happened there? I have no idea what happened there, but it's okay. I'll send you back to the title screen for a second there. But it was a really cool game. It's a really awesome game. I found it to be like really incredible so far, and I want to thank you guys for watching this. If you want to see more, please let me know. You know what's actually happened? I think it's using my. It's like, yeah, it's reconnecting now. But yeah, it's actually like it happens sometimes. I'll try to explain it, but like it uses my capture card as a dock sometimes, which is so weird. But I don't think I lost any recordings there. Hopefully I didn't anyway. But that, guys, I'm going to say thank you so much to my patrons and my YouTube members at the highest tier, which is the €15 tier. Thank you to Tyfire2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yule, Radish, and Nusta. Thanks Marky, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Jeremy, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, Wargame7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. And I'll see you all so soon. Bye-bye.